So this right here is my last series of runs of a kind of test I was doing for a Giants B12 team, and this is the team I'm running right here, and I'll go a bit more into depth on that here in a moment. But I have 10 runs left to complete 300 runs, and we're going to click start. So this team is I wanted to design a team that was both fast and consistent. And looking around, there's tons of different teams you can see. If you go into the Kairos dungeon and click on a strategy here, dungeon debate, and there's all sorts of teams here. Um, that right there should be roughly free to play. Slow but safe, 237. Sigmar's does very much make this safe, but he also slows it down tremendously. Definitely not free to play. Definitely not free to play again. And if you just go look through these, most of these are not free to play teams. And I'm not saying they're bad teams, but I generally want a team that is both very consistent and safe at the same time, as well as relatively fast. So I've recorded data on each one of these runs, and I'm going to go over the runes real quick on these monsters. I don't think I'm running anything incredibly crazy, but for leader, I'm using the Wind Ifrit, and I don't think he's not runed anything crazy, in all honesty. He's Rage Will. Doesn't really even need the will. I can get rid of that. It's not doing any good for him at all, actually. But he's on attack here for artifacts, attack, not finished, crit damage, not grinded at all, not grinded, attack, and not grinded again. So he could be faster, he could do more damage, and those runes are they're all hero runes, heroic runes. That being said, I don't think his stats are anything too mind blowing. He's on Rage Blade or Rage Will, and he's just meant as a damage dealer. He does a ton of damage. Secondly, I'm using the Dark Ifrit, Veramos, and Veramos is on Rage as well. Rage Fight, I think. Yeah, Rage Fight. He's on HP. That rune is a pretty crazy rune, that 40% HP right there, but you don't need anything that crazy to run him. But HP, it's not like it's enhancing his damage specifically. Crit damage and more HP. He could probably switch one of those to attack. Looking back through these one more time, his runes are pretty much good to go. He has 1 legendary rune, 2 legendary runes. He has quite a few legendary runes on him, but his stats don't need to be that high because his damage, when you look at the skills, is based on its proportion to the enemy's max HP. So it doesn't do anything for him. He just needs to survive and be fast enough. I generally like for him to be right behind Bella, ideally, though he could probably be a bit faster moving before Bella too, but he's not meant to be anything super crazy. He's just meant to do additional damage. And he has, once again, he has Fight to amplify some of the other monsters, and then he doesn't need Fight, though. It's not a necessity in any capacity, but he's on Fight Rage. Thirdly, I have running a monster right here, and the Wind Barbarian. He is meant to buff the team, inflict branding, which increases damage further, and he's on just Fatal Blade, runes you get from Giants. Rare, hero, legend, hero, rare, legend. I don't think these stats are unachievable by any means. It's just 70% crit rate, 90% or plus 90 speed, and the 2000 attack is somewhat high, but not really. And then an attack and an HP sub, so his attack could be higher right there alone. Yeah, but he's meant there to buff the team up and brand the opponent, and he does considerable damage on his own. He often hits for around, at least this one, mine hits for around 60k. The fourth monster I am using in here is Belladon. And Belladon could really use to have these skill up finishes in the 2A form. And yeah, these runes, a bit fast, is definitely not in Violet, just 3 sets. Shield to give a bit of a buffer to the monsters. This is just a set that I had sitting around. And then energy for extra HP, just speed, HP, and not even another, just energy or defense. So could be faster, definitely could be faster. Not, I mean, this is a 19 speed rune, that's a double speed roll on a blue. This is a 14 speed rune, 19, 10, not grinded, 22, that one's okay speed-wise. And then just a speed slot 2. I don't think those are unachievable by any means either. And last but not least, the Wind Homunculus, which is somewhere around here. Wind Homunculus, right here. Here we go. So on Fatal Focus, I could definitely use a bit more accuracy. Speed is 85. Looking at that real fast, I might even need to make an adjustment. Yep, he needs to be moving, Veramos needs to be moving no, actually that's appropriate. He should move first because he offers additional chances to defense break. Oh, and I almost forgot, Belladon also provides an additional chance to defense break, and Belladon has very good AI. Belladon will both strip the attack buff off the opponent or off the boss, and defense break, and only uses the heal, which also increases attack bar when needed, which is very useful. But the Wind Ifrit, the Wind Homunculus, was just buffed in the most recent balance patch. And so it looks like you can't look at the skills, but I have Shock Ray Amplify, which is proportionate to target's max HP, and defense break. Air Magic Bullet, Advance, proportionate to max HP. If it can't stun, more damage. And lastly, Sharp Wind, attack, proportionate to max HP, and more decreased defense. This attack hits insanely hard. I will go ahead and I'll show you that in a minute, but runes are, once again, it's a Fatal Focus, attack. That is a very good rune there. But crit damage and attack. I don't think the monster is too. I have quite a few legendary runes, but you do not need this high of rune quality in order to make this work. And mine aren't even finished by any means, and they can definitely be better than what they currently are. A lot of that's just extra HP, but you can get some pretty solid runes on this. And once again, this being Fatal, this could easily be Fatal Blade, and you can get those directly from running Giants. That being said, it looks like I'm on run 10 here, so I'm going to see if I've acquired a bit of loot here. I've also kept track of the loot and the average time, and that's what I'm most interested in. I'm interested in building this team to be consistent, safe, and fast. Faster than the 2-minute time that I was previously getting, and this one has definitely achieved that. The team's been very successful. I've only had a few losses so far, and you can see the Wind Ifrit right there doing a tremendous amount of damage, and Veramos cleansing, Belladon bringing them back up. 129k right there. The Homunculus hits very, very hard and is very useful against this boss. As you saw, the Wind Barbarian also hits very hard, and that wasn't even, he wasn't branded at that point in time when that hit took place, and he just hit the giant for 100 or 69k damage right there. I think this team, as I said, has been very successful, and I'm going to talk about the stats here in a minute. So I have completed a total of 300 runs testing this team for Giants B12. And I'm just going to give you a bit of stats here from what I collected. And I have all these stats available on the same spreadsheet that I have used in the previous one. Added another tab at the bottom called Giants B12 Team Consistency Test. I recorded the loot, not that that's really necessary as I was informed. The SW farm or whatever has already more than enough data for this. There are a variety of teams available, and I wanted one that was easy to rune, easy to build, and easy as a whole to work with. Right now, I have, once again, completed 300 runs, and during those 300 runs, I've come upon a total of 5,600,000 mana, 7 legendary runes, 17 intangible runes, 148 epic runes, 84 rare runes, 193 rune pieces, 294 giants pieces, 239 total runes, and of those 239, I sold 226, meaning I kept 13 total runes. That being said, I got 2 really, really nice runes out of that, which I was pretty excited about. I got a nice Swift and a nice Despair rune. So overall clear time was 4 hours and 20 minutes and 55 seconds. The average clear time for 10 runs was 14 minutes and 1 second. The average clear time for a single run was 1 minute and 25 seconds. And I also received in loot several, a bit of other stuff. I had 4 3-star Rainbow Wand, 2 4-star Rainbow Wand, 26 Unknown Scrolls, 3 engraved summoning pieces, 1 mystical scroll, 3 transmog pieces, and the last column, which is one of the most important pieces of data for this, I have 2 losses. And I calculate, out of 2 losses, that means I had 298 wins. 298 out of 300 is 0.993 repeating. Changing that to a percent, 99.3% success rate. That is a very solid number, and that is what I was looking to do. Create a team which I can walk away from, set to 10 runs, walk away from, come back 10 to 15 minutes later, and it's done. And 99% of the time, it will have completed all 10 of those runs. I don't want to walk away, and I understand it will happen from time to time because the team is not perfect, and I show 2 losses in this. But I don't want to walk away and consistently have a loss, and I only got through 3 battles. It's tremendously annoying, and I have other things that I often wish to do with my time other than staring at summoners who are, especially considering the game plays itself for the most part, with the exception of the PvP content. That being said, I showed the runes for the team. I hope people find this to be, once again, useful, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. I hope you enjoyed the video. So this wraps up the run here, and I'm going to quickly sort these runes out. I can roll that. That's garbage, garbage. That's rollable. That's rollable, garbage, 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 garbage. So I have 3 runes rollable. I'm going to go ahead and sell those off here. This has to roll something. This has to roll triple speed for me to keep it. Otherwise, it's gone. It's gone. This right here also needs lots of speed, and it didn't get it. It's gone. This right here is also looking for triple speed. Though I will honestly take double if it rolls well. And it didn't, so I'm not keeping it.